Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between the Sheik versus Soin. This game taking place here on Twisted Meadows. Sheik has spawned as, well, the red undead player over here on the bottom right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Soin spawning as the yellow orc on the top left. An oldie but a goodie of a game, I think, taking place about 3 months ago. So we'll see. It's occasionally nice to see some older games, not really that old, obviously, on Twisted Meadows, a map that, well, has probably been played in more competitive games than any map that I can remember, as Twisted Meadows has been part of the map pool for just so long. Such wide open spanses and spaces, something you rarely see anymore, as we have seen a great change from that direction. Meanwhile, coming back around, we are going to be opening up with an Altar of Storms and a Barracks. Looks like it could be Farseer or Blademaster with grunts. Coming back on the undead side, we are looking at Death Knight alongside, well, most likely ghouls, and then perhaps a transition into Crypt Fiends. Orc versus undead, perhaps the hardest matchup for for undead, as well, undead versus undead. I would say that's a 50-50 win-loss ratio. Obviously, coming back around, we're looking at still Graveyard coming back in as well. Trying to adjust myself and get back into the swing of things. We are going to be looking at an Acolyte making its rounds back around the other side here. Sheik purposely pushing through with this Acolyte. Actually, I thought he was actually going to come back around this way and make it appear as he's coming from a different direction. That's not what we see at all. Instead, the Acolyte is just wandering around and now about to make its way through the other side. It is going to be a Blademaster here, so Blademaster grunts. And if this style and strategy of play, it does make sense to try and track that rock golem. All right, we're looking at that right there. The rock or the grunt is going to push itself right into this position, and now in comes a rock golem, and there is that classic rock golem trap. All right, bit of damage being done, but the Blademaster will be able to get a very nice, powerful item off of all of this here, as the Blademaster finishes it off. Oh, does he get the last hit? Yes, he does, picking up Runed Bracers, which will make him significantly more difficult to take out, as Death Coil and Frost Nova will not be able to do the job. Not be able to do the job nearly as effectively. Death Knight now wandering around here, already sold his Scroll of Town Portal, picked up a Sacrificial Skull, Dust of Appearance, and I'm looking to see if we are getting an Acolyte in here as well. We are. Are we perhaps going to be trying to go for a fast expansion attempt? Additional Acolytes will need to be trained if that is indeed the case. All right, Ghoul now making its way over. There is Blight, Death Coil straight up onto that Ogre Magi. Damage really not racking up that quickly. Should perhaps be trying to go after the Forest Troll Trappers and all of these other remaining units down here. All right, all of the skeletal minions pretty much already taken down. Only 2 ghouls left, as the Death Knight needs to use that Rod of Necromancy to summon up some more units. Meanwhile, the Blademaster is in the center portion of the map, going after the Null Overseer and now getting up to level 2. Has plenty of healing salves as well, and this is going to be quite the interesting game. Death Knight now looking to finish off the last trapper there. Does have another Rod of Necromancy charge. Should be able to use that here momentarily. More damage being added. There goes another Ogre Warrior, there goes the other Warrior. Death Knight now sitting at level 2, while on Blight going to be regenerating a decent amount of hit points, as this last Ogre Warrior will be taken down. All right, Manual of Health picked up by the Death Knight. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Blademaster making its way through, perhaps going to try and pick up some sort of Forest Troll Berserker or that Shadow Priest. It is the Berserker indeed, for a little bit of additional piercing damage, and now perhaps going to go after some of these units as well. All right, adding in damage onto that Forest Troll. Forest Troll number 1 getting taken down. Another Forest Troll could get taken down. The Rock Golems and the Ogre Warriors actually having a difficult time making it back to the creep camp. And only once they get back to the creep camp do they start actually engaging against all of these units. So you can see some great play by Soin, and this is what you see when players are very familiar with a specific map, able to get in a lot of damage, clearing out difficult creep camps with relative ease. Cloak of Shadows now being used right there, going to finally pick that last item up and now walk away. Death Knight sitting at level 2, going after this 3-1-1 creep camp. You can see Sheik is doing a good job as well, clearing things up here in just a moment, picking up that Tome of Agility. Now, at this point, Soin must realize that something is amiss. He has not seen the undead here at all. And with that, does he suspect an expansion is in play? All right, coming after some of these units. All right, that Forest Troll Berserker represented a large amount of damage and an easy target as the Blade Master now going to make its way through. We can see Acolytes are going to be trained here. Blade Master is nearby, and he is going to end up getting a bit slowed. All right, Acolytes playing run around the haunted gold mine. And as you see that, as they're wandering around here, this Acolyte perhaps going to try and change and move positions, playing this constant shifting game as the Acolytes do regenerate quite a bit of hit points here. Only one tower, all that is needed, as the Blade Master, while trying to get away. Ghoul going to get in front as well. Blade Master going to turn back around. Death Knight, full on mana with Death Coil, should easily be able to heal up any unit that was in danger of falling. All right, Blade Master now off to the north. His Dust of Appearance is still revealed right there. Where is he going to go back around? It is level 2. Windwalk should be able to get in a bit more burst damage as well. Still has a couple bouts of mana as well as going to go after that Acolyte there. All right, Nerubian Tower now trying to take down one of those Acolytes. Will be able to do exactly that. Or sorry, take down one of the ziggurats before it's able to deal that much damage, and we can see once more ghouls are making their way back over. Blade Master going to have a very difficult time. Going to go ahead and Windwalk away once again. There's the Dust of Appearance, little bit of damage, trailing damage onto that Blade Master, but Windwalk allowing him to get away. Back off to the north, Soin now creeping with that Shadow Hunter only, and this is one of the benefits of such a large map as Twisted Meadows. The Blade Master able to play a very heavy harassment game, forcing the Death Knight to stay at level 2. Meanwhile, the Shadow Hunter is already at level 2 and making its way towards level 3. The downside for Soin is that he doesn't have, well, he is behind economically speaking, and if the undead is able to mass up that devastating tier 3 army, it will be difficult to overcome. Coming back across here, Shadow Hunter is at 2, Blade Master is at 3. Additional creeping could be underway. Shadow Hunter has plenty of good items as we're going to go after the remainder of the Rock Golem creep camp off to the north. Down to the south here, Death Knight clearing out his own creep camp, using more artificial or a sacrificial skull to get more blight out onto the battlefield. A little bit better regeneration overall as the Death Knight is healing up rather nicely while on blight. Death Knight trying to keep or take down that Rock Golem here. Perhaps the Crypt Fiend should actually be back on blight if it wants some very nice, well, a lot of healing. Staying off of blight didn't quite make sense, as we should be looking at the Forest Troll Trapper and all of these units getting taken down now. Tech to tier 3 already started. Slaughterhouse being placed down. Has to be careful. With his Sim City, he could end up getting an obsidian statue caught in the backside here, and I don't believe there's an easy way in or out short of, well, picking it up with a Goblin Zeppelin. Death Knight now making its way back out here. Lich gonna pick up another Rod of Necromancy. You can see more items being bought and sold as the 2 base undead really starting to get its feet underneath him. We can see, however, a Great Hall is already established. We are already at Fortress, so that very fast and effective tiny Great Hall trying to make up for lost time and getting that economic advantage neutralized. As the Death Knight and Lich still do a bit of creeping, there are a lot of red creep camps on the map still, and that means that we could be looking at some rather high levels on the Orc and Undead heroes. It feels as though Undead heroes are often able to level up extremely quickly with the help of their army right behind all of this here. We're going to see, well, Ogre Warriors getting taken down there, more units getting taken down here, Tome of Strengthening end up being picked up as the Lich is sitting at level 1, doesn't have an obsidian statue as of yet. Oh, purposely cleared out some of these trees so that the obsidian statues do have a path on out. All right, Scroll of Town Portal already coming back across. double ensnares here as the Blade Master now going after some of those units. Orb of Lightning on the Blade Master, some nice critical strikes, but the Blade Master only sitting at plus 12 damage right now, hoping to perhaps get a little bit more later. Blade Master now transitioning back away to the main base instead. Going to be able to find two very, very low hit point or out of position ghouls. Those ghouls could get taken down quickly. There goes one. Are we going to see another Scroll of Town Portal coming back the other way? Where the unit's going to land, perhaps straight up on top of the Orc army as a big Frost Nova Death Coil finishes off one low hit point raider. Healing Wave bouncing around. Kodo Beast looking for a hungry Crypt Fiend to eat, but those Crypt Fiends are going to be able to pelt it away just far too easily. Lich now back up on mana again. Another Frost Nova could be coming down here. Kodo Beast unable to eat anything as the Death Coil does reign true, trying to finish off more and more of these units. Ensnares going down onto the Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends unable to play the game that they want as the Kodo Beast gets taken down in the back. Death Coil saves the low hit point Crypt Fiend as the Frost Armor also adding a little bit more damage as well. We'll continue to try and finish things off as level 4 now on the Death Knight. And, well, not so surprisingly, Sheik able to get into a good flow with that economic advantage, building up a strong army, now sitting at 50 over 80 supply, level 2 Lich, level 4 Death Knight. And that Lich now with that Orb of Corruption just that much more deadly, supporting the rest of the undead army. All right, Kodo Beast making its, well, presence known, or not Kodo Beast, Tauren Chieftain making its presence known here, but no Endurance Aura or Stomp as of yet. Not quite sure what that Tauren Chieftain wants to try and train up. There is a Shade also keeping track of the army here, and we could be looking at a potential creep jack from behind. Coming back around, Crypt Lord as the third and final hero as the Tauren Chieftain now makes its way through, and in comes the Death Knight. Gonna perhaps go after all of these Berserkers. Forest Troll Berserker right there, trying to perhaps get away. Gonna have a very, very bad day indeed, as units are able to easily finish it off. Death Knight getting the kill there. Death Coil unable to save the Crypt Fiend. Purge onto a Crypt Fiend as well, as the Death Coil, well, unavailable as mana was low and still perhaps on cooldown. All right, in come a couple of purges, but a big impale coming onto the Blade Master. Blade Master now trying to finish off one of these obsidian statues as their hit points does get lower and lower. One more shot should finish it off. There goes one obsidian statue, the glue that holds the Orc army together. All right, it's going to be a push, but no, not going to work. Shadowhunter completely gets taken down there as the Blade Master was trying to push free. There was the impale into the air, and the Shadowhunter was not able to get away. Sheik is in a great position here. Going to finish off the level 1 Tauren Chieftain as well. Perhaps we'll look at a resurrection at the Tauren Chieftain back at home, as it does get back into the game much more quickly when resurrecting at level 1. Shadowhunter, what is the Shadowhunter doing just on the far side of the Crypt Lord here? You can see the Forest Troll Warlord getting taken down. Boots of Crotholos would have been a big item for that Blade Master. A little bit of additional armor and a lot more damage as well. Definitely an upgrade over those Slippers of Agility. Plus 22 damage on that Blade Master. Spirit Link, we're looking at the Blade Master now trying to finish things off here, taking things down. Shadowhunter needs to get, well, already sitting at level 3, so level 2 healing wave was not enough to keep things alive and well, as the Blade Master looking to well, clean up the remainder here. Alright, Shadowhunter does have the Pendant of Energy now, so perhaps enough healing waves could be done. Blade Master also has the Rune Embracers, so well, who's going to be the priority target, the Blade Master or that Shadowhunter? Down to the south, Tauren Chief, the Death Knight and Crypt Lord cleaning up the last remainders of a red creep camp here. And now, perhaps going to try and get in a purge attack onto some of these units and then force an engagement. All right, there's a big strike onto an obsidian statue. It's a back away, but one, well, Spirit Walker already taken down. Tauren Chief now trying to make his way over, trying to get an impale in, as we see a Scroll of Town Portal heading down here. All right, perhaps a low hit point Crypt Fiend could get taken down. No such sign of that either, as all of the units were backing away. One Acolyte trying to set up an expansion, not going to be that lucky. Meanwhile, a Shade keeping track of this expansion, an attempt off over here. The Voodoo Lounge, well, an easy halfway point, as a quick tiny Great Hall could be purchased and established in just a second. coming back through, we can see that the main bases have about 6.5 minutes worth of mining still. Tauren Chieftain still trying to get to level 2, needs that endurance aura and finds it easily now, or will be able to find it easily. Meanwhile, thorium or not thorium range weapons, is it? Yeah, we are going into yeah, thorium range weapons, I guess it is. I guess it's mithril at the very last one. So steel, thorium, and then mithril. Just trying to remember all of my upgrades and names. As the Death Knight, Lich, and Cryptlord now make its way off to the north. Cryptlord having a pendant of mana, that is going to be a very, very large amount of mana onto that Cryptlord and could cause some serious problems if the Death Coil, Frost Nova, and Impale just seems to never end. Dual Obsidian Statue should also keep that Cryptlord topped off on mana as well. Death Knight with a potion of mana, so you better believe that there's going to be large amounts of damage just rushing on in. All right, there goes the Tomb of Relics. Scroll of Town Portal now coming back around. Spirit Link trying to be cast. Units are going to try and retreat. Where are they going to land? Land down off to the south. Healing Wave coming back on through as the Blade Master, Tauren Chieftain, going to try and engage here. All right, there goes an Impale. Tauren Chieftain could have a little bit of a bad day. Does he have a Potion of Invulnerability? Death Knight now sitting at level 5. Tauren Chieftain gets off a level 1 stomp amongst the sea of units and now trying to get Healing Wave back out. Tauren Chieftain gets blasted with a Frost Nova while he was already nearly dead. Blade Master continuing to fight his way back through here. Shadow Hunter and Blade Master don't have that much mana, but purging onto that Obsidian Statue with the help of that Lightning Orb, causing great problems, trying to take down the glue that is holding the undead army together. All right, second Obsidian Statue taken down. Now all of these, Berserkers, the 2-1 upgrades, should be able to perhaps cause a little bit of problems as the Shadow Hunter once again going to get blasted. No, Potion of Invulnerability transferred at the last possible moment, able to walk away at 31 hit points and perhaps head back home. All right, trying to get in a little bit of heals as well. Needs a little bit of mana, Scroll of Speed, in order to execute a quick retreat. But look at the number of units impaled there. That is going to be a massacre. How many Raiders and Berserkers are going to get taken down? There goes 1, 2, 3, fourth one as well. Final shot right there. Perhaps another trailing Impale to get another unit or two. All right, units are trying to catch up. Death Knight with that Unholy Aura. Look at this dual pendant of manas on the Cryptlord. The Cryptlord with 785 mana, causing so many problems. And Impale here, when they were all lined up, not quite sure what's going on as the units are still trying to retreat back home. With that said, though, well, we are running up on a multiple bases for the Orc. Undead trying to do the same thing. And, well, there are still plenty of gold mines to be had. Cryptlord sitting at 3, Lich sitting at 4, Lich at plus 19 damage with the help of dual calls of attack and an Orb of Corruption. Death Knight making its way back over, going to steal a little bit of that bonus experience once more as that Cryptlord tries to be the first 1,000 mana Cryptlord in the history of on my channel, taking down some of these units here. All right, low hit point Crypt Fiends, Blade Master wandering nearby. Are we gonna see some? Well, Banshees are now out here onto the battlefield, and they have possession and they also have that curse, making it difficult for the Blade Master to play his game. Critical strikes and auto attacks are going to be missing quite a bit. On top of that, trying to go for Tauren Chieftain or any higher supply, or not Tauren Chieftain, Taurens or Kodos or any other high supply units could come back to bite as the Blade Master misses right there, and you can see a problem once more. Blade Master currently revealed Death Coil, Frost Nova trying to land onto that Blade Master, but the Blade Master, with the help of those Rune Bracers, able to stay alive for a little while longer. Plus 22 damage. Tauren Chieftain now ready to lead the charge here. Does have that level 2 stomp, which is key. A couple of Berserkers fighting the rest of that Orc arm or the undead army needs to try and perhaps get out of harm's way. As you can see that the units are now making their way through. There goes an Impale. Orc army going to be able to head back down to the south here. Perhaps try and get in front, but the Shade of Sheik keeping tabs on this army constantly, as well, it feels as though Soin is just trying to constantly keep track of where Sheik is all this time and running around the forest, only to be, well, wondering where his opponent is. All right, great mind games. Go left, go right, go left, go right. As the armies of as the army of Soin finally gives up the chase and now trying to do a little bit of creeping for that Tauren chieftain and that Shadow Hunter. The Shadow Hunter, if it gets to level 5, or the Lich getting to level 5, that will be the next big play. Death Knight purposely stay nearby, even though it takes a little bit of that experience away. It's better to be much faster overall, as we're looking at, I believe that was a Ring of Protection +4. The Death Knight now going to be that much more difficult to take out. Spiked barricades, or not spiked barricades, spiked carapace. I believe that's the carapace, or spiked armor on that Crypt Lord is going to make it difficult for the Blade Master, as we're going to be looking into a bit of an engagement. Anti-magic shell also being used, and here we go. Tauren Chieftain trying to throw down a stomp, gets impaled instead. Death Coil Frost Nova as the Chieftain gets off one stomp and then tries to walk away. Is going to be able to do exactly that. 49 hit points, 48. You can see a Hex onto the Death Knight as we see Frost Nova is now going down. Tauren Chieftain trying to stay close enough by to give endurance upgrade attack speed for these units, but has to be extremely careful. There's a healing wave as well, as the Death Knight still wandering back around. Kodo Beast unable to eat anything. There goes another impale across multiple units. 74 supply compared to 76. A beautiful battle still taking place here, as Crypt Fiends are just immune to that damage, but still to get impaled and see a stomp or an impale instead. Potion of invulnerability. There's a stomp trying to go after some of these actual units. Blade Master missing multiple times before wasting a 232 critical strike onto a low hit point Banshee. Healing wave bouncing around still. 77 supply compared to 76, as the Obsidian statue still able to play their game. Tauren Chieftain wants to throw down a stomp. There's the Death Coil, however, finishes it off as the impale stun just lasts forever and a day. 72 supply compared to 76. Low hit point Obsidian statues could easily get taken down as well. You're looking for more damage, but constant missing on those raiders are causing problems. Trying to finish things off, as we see the Crypt Lord able to use a Scroll of Town Portal at the last possible moment, down to 36 hit points. The Banshees impales, or the Banshees with their curses and the impales, really the MVP of that last particular battle, causing so many misses and missed opportunities to finish off units and move on to other priority targets. We're looking at the Raiders now making their rounds out once again. The Shadow Hunter did get to level 5 much more quickly, so we have level 3 healing waves to try and overcome for Sheik, but the Tauren Chieftain was taken down at level 3 and, well, needs to get resurrected as well. All right, Voodoo Lounge as an outpost for a base. I absolutely love this style of play by Soin. You build your Voodoo Lounge, you build a tower, and suddenly you buy an item from your Voodoo Lounge, and you're able to set up a base in just a moment. All right, we are looking at resurrection on those Spirit Walkers, continuing to engage. There's a massive impale across the middle here. We do have Crypt Fiends out, and how much damage are they going to be able to do? That is the question as well. All right, Web quickly bringing down that Wind Rider. Is that Wind Rider going to be able to escape so many Crypt Fiends out here onto the battlefield? That Wind Rider hasn't even really gotten any damage, as the Blade Master now trying to finish off more and more of these Banshees who are holding the army together, or making this battle just so much more difficult to try and win. Tauren Chieftain, massive stomp across multiple units here right in the center, as another Banshee about to get taken down, and Crypt Fiend still getting felled as well. All right, Blade Master, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used, has 7 seconds of invulnerability left. That is about to come to an end. Shadow Hunter needs to come in with a big heal, as the Blade Master does need to retreat back out. Raiders end up giving level 5 to the Lich, as we see another impale finishing off a couple of Berserkers. All right. Dark Lich, level 5 now on the Lich. Well, we are looking still at this Crypt Lord with a massive amount of upper end mana. Could give all of those pendants to that Lich and give the Lich suddenly a large amount of mana for it to just machine gun out those Frost Novas. Where are we going to perhaps travel to next? The Obsidian statues are relatively... only one Obsidian statue is available, and Haunted Goldmine. An attempted Haunted Goldmine seems a little bit blind right there, as the Acolytes could end up easily getting taken down. Clarity Potion on the Tauren Chieftain not disrupted. Shadow Hunter buying a Potion of Mana, using a Clarity Potion, has a Sobi Mask, and looks like he is ready to go again. So in a great spot, being able to get back into this fight here, and we're going to be looking at perhaps a little bit of an uphill battle, literally, as if the Crypt Fiends may have to try and attack uphill, making it difficult to actually hit those targets off on that high ground. All right. Crypt Lord, Shadow Hunter, Blade Master, Tauren Chieftain, ready for the move. 76 supply compared to 78. Army sizes are about the same. Blade Master getting ready to engage as the Blade Master is revealed by that shade. And why isn't anything happening to that Blade Master? That is the key question right there, as the Blade Master trying to go after this Obsidian statue in the back. No critical strikes. Oh, there's finally a critical strike there, finishing off one. Blade Master gets up to level 6, does have access to Blade Storm, but may just go for level 3 critical strike, as the Tauren Chieftain gets blasted down pretty quickly as well. Blade Master trying to finish off more and more units. Tauren Chieftain back out here onto the battlefield, resurrected at the tavern. As we're still looking at the fight getting underway. Blade Master gets a big hex off onto the Death Knight. Death Knight gets taken down. Level 4 now on the Tauren Chieftain, as the Blade Master is still able to, well, fight on through with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability to use, and that is going to be the game. Soin able to overcome Soin able to overcome the economic advantage of Sheik by setting up voodoo lounges and then setting up bases really quickly right behind after the fortress was established. A very strong game, strong showing by Soin, as he was able to get to level 5 on that Shadow Hunter first. That must have given him a slight advantage, as he was able to heal a little bit more quickly. And once the battle just raged on, the Blade Master continuing to go after the glue of the undead army, those obsidian statues in the back, it made a very big impact. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you guys thought about this game here on Twisted Meadows in the comments below. And if you already got to this point of the video, please remember to like and comment. Thank you.